They did require a deposit. It sounds like they are going to want something over MSRP for a brand new GT. More gas, more gas. Hello and welcome back to Gearhead 704. I'm Matt, and today I've got something a little bit different for you. I don't know if you've seen the new GT500 spy photos that were uploaded on Instagram recently from a show that Ford did in Vegas, but there is a new Shelby GT500 coming out. It's supposed to have 790 horsepower. You know, that's all rumors, speculation. A lot of people have been talking about it. Anyway, I wanted to find out, is it possible to go ahead and get on the list to order one of these things? And if so, what is that process like? How much money does it cost to get on the list? So I'm just going to a local Ford dealership here in Charlotte, and I'm going to see what they can tell us about it. Is it possible for me to get a Shelby GT500 and get on the list when it comes out? I don't know. Let's find out together. Okay, so while we're heading to the dealership right now, I'm just going to go ahead and tell you some of my expectations for what I think is going to happen here. I'm expecting for me to be on some list at, you know, person number like 57. They're probably going to want some sort of deposit to get on the list today. And on top of that, I'm guessing that even when it does come in or becomes available, they're gonna want a significant markup above MSRP. That's gonna be one of my big questions, is like, do I have to pay more than MSRP to get this car when it comes out? There's a lot of hype around the car right now, so I really don't know. But I'm assuming, my expectations are, change lanes here, they're going to put me on the list today. I'm going to be at least 50 or higher, and they're going to want a decent amount of money up front, and they're not going to guarantee that they will not charge me more than MSRP for the car. That's the guess. We'll find out. I really want to know. I'm hoping that you guys are interested in this too. I would love to get one. I think the price is going to be somewhere around $80,000, which is a lot for a car, but this is going to be a really special car. You know, the best, I mean, the GT350s I love already. I'd love to get one of those for the channel, and the 500's going to be an enhancement over that. Probably going to be a 5.2 liter V8, the Voodoo V8, just like the 350, but then it's going to be supercharged. I'm pretty sure I saw that. I know Ford released some data about that. I'll see if I can find that and include that in the video here, the data that they have around it. Just check the link in the description below. But yeah, it'll be really kind of interesting to find out what this process is. I am not like a special buyer of this Ford dealership, you know, where I've bought all these different Mustangs from them before. I did buy a car from this dealership back in 2010. I bought a used 2009 Ford Expedition EL, so you know, I'm not a preferred customer or anything like that. I'm driving the Jetta right now, in case you're wondering what I'm driving today. I have a sort of a beater car, a Volkswagen Jetta. It just gets me from point A to point B. I thought about driving the Mustang, but really the weather's too bad, and also I thought they might actually think they could get more money from me, even though my Mustang's beat up, just because they know that I love the Mustang, right? So yeah, that's another reason why I'm in the Jetta. So we'll see what happens. It's interesting. I was listening to a podcast, the Smoking Tire podcast recently. Doug DeMuro was on there, and both he and Matt Farah is the guy that runs the Smoking Tire podcast, they both said that whenever they go to a dealership and try to like buy a car, that they can't actually negotiate or get any sort of deal, because essentially everybody knows who they are, they know their faces, and know that they have money. So that's interesting. So that's another reason why I drive in the Jetta, just to see if it makes a difference. I am about 3 minutes early right now. Right on time, basically. Okay, so leaving the dealership right now. Here's what I found out. I'm actually the second person on the list. There's one other guy that's been there 9 months before me. I don't know who that is, but there was somebody ahead of me, but only 2 people on the list. I guess because there's not really much known about the car yet. They weren't even sure when they might get allocation, if at all. They were thinking 2020. They did require a $500 deposit. It sounds like they are going to want something over MSRP, but the good news is on the deposit is that you can get it back if you refuse. So I didn't think that was too bad, especially since I can get the money back. So I stuck in a $500 deposit on that there. So yeah, I'm on the list for a new GT500. It's pretty surreal. Right now though, you know, it's just on the list. You don't really know anything about the car, but yeah, nonetheless, it's exciting. It is something I really want to get. I got to find out more. I got to find out how much over MSRP they're going to want when the time comes. I'm also going to look around and see if I can find another place that maybe will, you know, not charge me MSRP, and then I can just transfer my deposit over there, or not transfer it, but cancel the one here and put a new one down there. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get into some of the details a little bit later on the GT500 so far, but I'm on the list for a brand new GT500. That's pretty cool to say. Okay, so just a quick little update for you. On the way home, I thought I would call another dealership that was actually closer to my house, but they don't do as much volume, and I actually hadn't called them yet, which I should have. But it was kind of what I thought. On that dealership, they weren't really taking names yet, and they couldn't say anything about, you know, how much markup, other than they would have some sort of markup outside of over MSRP. But they did say I was the first person to ask about this. Sorry, I'm changing lanes here. But they said I was the first person to ask about it, and that she would actually call me first and go ahead and put me on the list. So I'm now on the list for GT500 in 2 places. One where I have a deposit, one where I don't. So I'm not really sure if some other deal has been done there. You know, it's nice to actually know your name's on the list, know you have a deposit, some sort of skin in the game, which, you know, I only know at the first place I went. But who knows? You know, maybe this will work out even better. So now I've got 2 options. I am definitely trying to find out if I can buy a GT500, and who knows, maybe something will come out of this, you know. But yeah, so 2 dealerships, and one more thing before I close out the video I want to do is I want to tell you guys what we know about it so far. So I'm going to do that when I get back to the house and kind of get all my stats together and everything for you guys, tell you what we know about the car, and hopefully this will be a regularly updating thing on the blog here, you know, the GT500 files, so to speak, you know, what the deal is, if I'm going to get one or not, and all that. All right, see you back at the house. Okay, so I wanted to go over some of the things that we do know about the new Shelby GT500, or that at least we think we know. It's probably going to be a 2020 model year. As far as the transmission, there's a lot of rumors that it might be a dual clutch transmission. You know, I've got the Tremec T56 6-speed in mine, as you can see here. And, you know, I mean, I love manuals personally, so, but a dual clutch is honestly a lot faster. You know, if you know anything about manual versus automatic, it's just hard to make that argument against it. So yeah, we've got that. Also the engine is, you know, in the GT350, we've got the 5.2 liter Voodoo V8, right? With the flat plane crank, and there's a lot of information out there about that. Well, apparently, there's the new motor in the GT500 is going to be called the Predator. It's probably going to be supercharged. It's going to make, we know, at least more than 700 horsepower. We don't know how much exactly, but you know, I've heard estimates of even as high as 790. That's speculation, but the difference is it's not going to be a flat plane crank. It's going to be a cross plane crank, which is more standard traditional. So that's interesting. I love the sound of the flat plane crank V8 myself. What else do we know? I mean, there's going to be carbon fiber all over the place in it. We know there's been some spy shots. Obviously, I told you about those earlier. I'm going to put those in now. They were posted by Sinister Life on Instagram, but anyway, let's go ahead and put those in right here. And yeah, so I'm trying to think if there's anything else we really know. I mean, some of you guys that are watching this may know more than me, so go ahead and please feel free to put that down in the comments, anything that you know about the new Shelby. But as of right now, I am on the list to get one. We'll see if I'm able to actually do that when it comes out. I don't know what kind of markup they're gonna have. I know there is gonna be some kind of markup. So yeah, I don't even know how much the car is gonna cost, what options it's gonna have, any of that. But at least I'm on a list. I'm second officially with a deposit. And then there's another dealership, I'm on their supposed virtual list and they're gonna call me. So I don't know if that will go anywhere, but I'm number 1 there. So anyway, if you enjoyed this video today, please hit the like button. If you're stopping in for the first time, go ahead and hit that subscribe, and we'll see you next time on Gearhead 704.